All right, well, shit, you be on the old man, you probably yourself.
Right. Exactly. What up, world? It's your boy Trees Trump signing on, screaming, go get the money. And welcome back to another episode of the Hotseat podcast, where we're always putting a spotlight on entrepreneurs, small business owners, black-owned businesses, athletes, musicians, artists in our community. Today, I got the pleasure of sitting down with one of a local legend, I have to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put it that way, man. This guy is a striking coach at Strike First CA, which the CA is not for California, it's for combat athletics.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? He's a professor over at Checkmate Temecula, personal trainer at Self-Made facility as well, training facility. None other than my man, Mr. French, you know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Welcome to the Hotseat podcast, my brother.
It's an honor.
How you feeling today?
I'm good.
I finally got you here,
Yes,
man.
it's been a minute.
Jesus Christ, man. I've been, we've been friends for a while. A client of mine as well. And the best way to follow people's lives is kind of just pay attention to their social medias a little bit, especially when it comes to business or different things like that. You kind of get a good idea of what people got going on and or what they don't got going on. You know what I'm saying? And lately I've just been seeing, you've been catching this rhythm, you know what I mean? And I reached back out and was like, you know what, bro, you look like you're in a good place to do the podcast, man. So I appreciate you being here today, man.
Same.
With that being said, if you ever seen an episode, you know how it starts, man. We start with one question. Who are you? So,
where did I start, bro?
let's start from the beginning.
So, I was raised in France, from maybe like 3 months old until like I was 12. At 12,
Wait, you were raised where?
in France.
Okay, so you're not going to just act like that was just normal. I never knew that.
No? Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
No?
You were raised in France?
Yeah, bro. Like,
Okay, how did that happen?
just my parents, during the whole, like, back in the days, like, takeover or whatever that was, they were trying just to get out the country, just to have a better life,
Got you.
So most of my mom's family got granted to come here, and we got granted to move to France.
Got it.
So when I was like 3 months old, we moved to France, and I was raised there till I was like, I think I was 8. We came to visit. Then came to visit. My mom saw her mom, my grandma, which was my grandma, her sister, her brother, And then we went back, and then we came back a second time to visit. But now I guess I was a kid, so I wasn't paying attention to what they were talking about. They were talking about like making a big move and so and so. Next thing you know, 2 years later, after the last visit, I was like 12 and decided to pick everything up and move here.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy though. Like I'm not.
So what do you remember about living in France though? You remember they didn't try to make you speak the language or nothing?
Yeah, I took like an English class, but it wasn't enough.
Right.
I moved over here, and let me tell you, bro. Like, you think when you're in France, you hear California, you think of palm trees, beaches.
Yeah.
You think of Santa Monica.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I moved on the block in the hood.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't raised. We weren't rich, or we weren't like poor either. We were comfortable living in France.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved here, I was used to a certain lifestyle.
Right.
Not like, I'm not saying like rich or whatever. More like I was a soccer player, soccer star. I played soccer my whole childhood, made it to the French national team for the Pee-wees and stuff. And then I moved here and I thought I was going to be able to play, and it's a little bit different here.
Yeah.
My parents couldn't afford it, so I was just, playing in school or whatever.
Yeah.
But long story short, I was used to being a certain way in France. When I moved here, I had to readjust.
Right.
Readjust from the age of 12. It's like I had to start over at the age of 12, Like, it wasn't like I was born here and I was raised. I had to start all over.
Right. And learn everything else. Because, I mean, I can relate to that, too. Because, my dad's in the military, so I moved around. And so, like, I remember when I was turning 10, and I was in Cali that whole time, and then I had to move to the East Coast, and so it was a different transition. But for you, France to come into
bro, my first day of school was the hardest.
When you came to California, what part of California were you in?
Anaheim.
Okay, Anaheim.
Okay, it was like when people say Anaheim, be like, oh, Disneyland? No.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead and make a wrong turn, and you'll see where you end up. La Palma and Euclid. Look it up.
Even Harbor Drive, where Disneyland is at, is kind of
if you drive down more.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've never like, and the other thing that's different from France is as a kid in France, you are more, you have more responsibilities. Like I was able to go to school on my own. And I was like 7 or 8. I'm talking about taking public transit on my own. We had more responsibilities, I moved out here, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they busing you to school.
My parents didn't let me do anything. My family didn't let me do anything by myself. Because it's just...
When you got to the States?
Yeah. It was like, that I was never exposed to the gang life. Never, not like I saw in Cali, when I moved here.
Right.
I never heard gunshots until I moved here.
Right.
Just all that,
Right.
And then, one of the things that was the craziest for me is, I remember I was 12, and I was sitting in front of where we stayed at, and I see this girl, she's 13, right? And she was pregnant. And I was like, what the fuck? I have never seen teen pregnancy.
Yeah, especially when you're 12, it's like a shock.
Never. But over here it's just like...
It's more normal.
Yeah, you have kids that just, wilding out or whatever, but, yeah, bro. I was like, she pregnant? I wasn't trying to stare, bro. I wasn't trying to stare. I was just like...
but the stomach is poking out.
Yeah, I was like...
Obviously.
Fuck.
Dang, man, 13.
Yeah. First day of school, hardest. Hands down. Hardest day in my life.
Okay, so we'll explain that. That's what I think the culture shock was.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yes, definitely.
Because, there's a language barrier. Originally, what language were you speaking before you went to... Because you were in
French and Laos.
French and Laos.
I'm trilingual.
Okay.
3 languages.
That's the fun fact of the day right there. That's the fun fact of the day.
But yeah, man, it's like... I didn't know what to say. I didn't know, I went to school with my cousin, right? When you go to school together, it's fine. But sometimes you separate.
Yeah, you go to this class, you go to your class.
You're like, oh, shit.
This is real.
Yeah. And then it's like, I was trying to kind of pretty much go with the flow, But then, when I had to kind of, speak for myself, I was like, shit. I was lost on campus for a little bit, and I was like... How do I get there?
You don't really know who to ask, how to communicate very well.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
I know.
So what would you say it was as okay, finally you found your niche. What was that?
I didn't become who I am today or love doing what I do or found my niche until I was my late 20s, to be honest, bro.
So you didn't never feel comfortable when you was in school or nothing like that? Did anybody come up and did you ever make friends with somebody?
Yeah,
I made it kind of more comfortable.
I did a little bit, but you know what? It took me to fight back. I was getting picked on because I was just a new kid in school, and it's funny. The guys that were picking on me ended up being some of my best friends.
Right.
After
a good friendly phase.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was my friend Kit and Jerry.
Hey, big shout out to Kid and Jerry, man.
They were riding their bikes and doing shit at me, and it was little spiky things, And I was like, oh shit. And then they were laughing, and I said, alright. One of them broke by me, I grabbed by the back of the shirt, just boom! And then he looked at me what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, what?
But y'all thought y'all was just gonna be able to pick on me? No, I don't work like that.
And I was growing up in France, I got in trouble. I was a kid, I played sports, but I was a pretty aggressive kid. I was I guess you want to say, I won't say violent, but I wasn't backing down from anything.
What do you think that was? Why do you think you were like that?
I don't know.
Was your family like that? Was there anybody around you that you seen like that?
No, not really.
I just was like that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's scared of moms because the moms is moms.
Oh yeah, moms all the time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I was like the scrapper, you know.
Scrappy.
And we used to have also I had my older cousins, right? They would make us line up in the front yard where the grass was at, and then they used to give us a football, and they used to make us run through each other, right?
Oh yeah.
And I was a kid, I was just into rugby, so I was like, this is nothing to me.
You love it.
Yeah. They give me the ball, they're like, you up? And I was like, hell yeah, I am. I ran right.
So you always liked that physicality.
Oh yeah.
Contact.
Always.
Aggressive.
Okay. Always. I was never like the one to like press on it, you know? But I always had that dog in me. Always. Yeah. You know, and but yeah, long story short, I ran over one of my best friends playing football, and then they were like, "Oh, this guy has nothing to play with." And after that, it was like, "Hey, what's up?" You know?
Hey, you want to hang with us? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense, man. Not to be a downer or nothing like that, but you know, we're talking about your background, your family, and all that stuff. And I know you lost your pop, so I just want to take a moment to, you know, recognize that, send out a respect and a shout out to him. I'm damn sure he's proud of the man you're growing to be and you becoming. So you know, big shout out to him. But just tell us something good or something that you remember best about your pops, man.
Man, my pops was like my best friend, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you know, it's crazy. Sometimes you know, we all carry guilt a little bit, you know. But he always wanted to spend time with me. I was like his pride and joy. But I was too caught up in that life a little bit, and you know, he was a good dad, dude. Like really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, my only regret I have till this day is I can't share who I am today with him. Yeah. I can't be like, yo, pops, let's go get a drink, you know, or hey, I got my black belt, let's go celebrate, you know, like, or you know, things like that. But he was like an all around great human. Like you know, he's I get my kindness from him. Well, my mom too, but mostly from him. My dad was like a gentle giant, you know. Yeah. That dude was like buff.
Yeah.
He was like.
I seen pictures. Yeah. I looked at some of the pictures, and I was like, yo, your dad was looking like he was like on some. Your dad kind of looked like what's my man's name? Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of swole. Yeah. Like, his facial structure and everything was like everything was strong. Like man,
he was like man. That's the only thing I miss, man. You know, it's like hardest thing for me was him. It was losing him. Yeah. It was probably like my biggest loss. Yeah. You know, it shook my world. It you know, I was into that life, you know, and I did shit I'm not proud of. I you know. I think we all have. You know, and it's like when my dad passed, I'm like, okay, well, imagine how other people feel when their family are going through stuff or when they're hurting because I've done something or I'm not saying I did something.
No, of course. Allegedly.
I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
You know? So it was a commercial wake up call, you know?
Yeah.
I was more like
you put the shoes. What they say? You put the shoe on the other foot or whatever.
You're walking that.
You put yourself in somebody else's shoes or whatever. Yeah.
But and I was like, okay, well maybe settle down a little bit. But I was like that for a little bit, but then I kind of fell off again, and it was just like I tried, you know. Like that's all we could do, you know. But yeah, man, he was a great man. It's like you ask me one thing about him, I could say I just can't because it's just so much. So much.
Yeah, I just want you to touch on that, man, because I know it's special and important to you. And, you know, I respect that, man. I want to just take a moment to, you know, give a big salute to him up there, because as much as you feel like you can't physically share those moments with him, he's right there with you. Yes, so you know that's what the dope thing about it. So you always been this aggressive monster kid, right? Yeah. Right, you know, your dad taught you to have manners, but you still will rip somebody's head off with the quickness, right?
Always.
You turn this aggression into when was the point that you started training or what got you into like fighting or whatever the case might be? Obviously, growing up,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was
fight,
angry, or not angry, but I always had that
aggression, something,
Yeah.
So when did you start to put it into a productive like?
I was more like trying to get back into shape. I put on weight.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, pretty heavy. I was into drugs for a while, and then when I stopped the drugs, then I met my ex-wife at the time. We started dating, and we started going out a lot. I was eating a lot. I blew up to like, I believe it was like 260 at the time.
Damn. And how tall are you?
5'10".
Oh, you was big. You was big.
Yeah. 3XL shirts, you can't hide the belly, but you can't hide this.
Dang, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, I started working out, kind of lifting and running, but I didn't really know what I was doing. I just was like, okay, well, everybody bench press, I'm a bench press. Everybody runs, I'm gonna run.
Right.
And then I started watching fight. I was always into fighting, watching on TV and stuff. Then we moved to Temecula, and then my ex at the time, she was like, well, there's a gym in town called Team Quest, run by Dan Henderson. At the time, I kid you not, I was like, who the fuck is that?
Dude, I get it.
I was like, who is that?
Right.
So I looked him up, after a few months, I finally was like, fuck it, let's do it. I signed up for a free trial, and it was on after that.
All right, so walk me through that, because all right, there's a lot of people that's like, oh, they want to fight, they think they can fight, they want to go into these gyms, and tell us about your first day.
Oh man,
when you went in there, what was it like?
My first day, I was literally just came back from Vegas.
Oh no, that's not good.
I just came back from Vegas Sunday night. I was in the gym Monday morning.
Early?
Yeah, like 9.
Okay.
Bro,
okay.
I was like hanging on to the side of the ring trying to stay up.
Oh.
After 10 minutes, I was like,
And what they have you doing? What was
just
you doing?
punching the bag, doing like cardio work. I never moved and sweated like that in my life. And like I wrapped my hands. I didn't know how to wrap my hands, right? So I don't ask nobody. I'm a man. I'm like, fuck.
I'll wrap.
I wrap myself.
Right.
So I'm watching other people like this, right? I wrapped my hands so tight that they were numb in the treadmill. And then I was like, after taking my glove, like trying to like playing around, like I'm tough, And I was like, fuck, man, I can't feel my hands. Yeah, bro. And then but you know what? I didn't do any like kickboxing or I didn't any kind of combat until like 4 months after that. All I did was just work out there. Conditioning, cardio, kickboxing and stuff. Mm-hmm. But then like I will stay and watch the next class, which is like a Muay Thai class.
Okay.
And I was like intrigued, I was like, it's like today's the day I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I'll sit there and I'll watch someone getting head kicked. Oh nope, not today. And I'll just leave like fuck this. And again, the next day I'll come back and train. I watch the class again.
Yeah.
And the next night someone get kicked in the leg. I'm like, oh shit, nope.
Yeah, I'm good.
So one day I just went, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and I did.
What do you think pushed you into it? Like
I'm just
eventually got that courage, or you like to take a challenge, but you
it's once I get pushing it, once I get to it, it's on.
Right.
But like it takes me a while, okay. I gotta sit. I'm kind of like, do I want this?
Yeah.
Is this for me? Damn, that motherfucker got kicked in the head.
You're like, no, for me.
Yeah. But but you know what? You don't find out what you're made of until you put in that position.
Right.
Once you put in that position and you still want to come back,
then that's for you.
Then well, it kind of, but you're like, all right, then maybe I could do this. It's a maybe,
Right.
So I started doing it, and then every Friday I was sparring. But if you don't want to spar, you could sit, you could drill on the side with everybody else. That's not sparring, Mm-hmm. So again, I'd start doing it. It took me like 4 months to actually spar.
Right.
Bro, let me tell you, my first sparring session.
Yeah, I gotta hear this.
I got my ass whooped by an old man full of gray hair.
How old were you?
28.
By this time, you think you can fight pretty good, right?
They were like,
in your mind, you can get down.
They were like, hey, French, pair up with him right here. And I said,
this guy?
Yeah. Dude, literally, we go, have my hands way too low, hits me. I'm like, fuck, you know.
Right away?
Yeah, and then I like,
it was strikes first.
Yeah, he did. He did. And then I was like, oh shit. And then I'm moving again, he's me again.
Oh,
I'm like, all right, motherfucker. So I'm trying to rush him, he kicks me. Boom! Ran
right into it.
And then he comes forward now. Fucking, he's hitting me. I'm like backpedaling. I'm going like this. Right? And then my coach was like, put your hands up. Chin down. I'm trying. Every time I'm trying to put my head down, I'm getting punched. I'm going like this.
Oh my god.
Right? And dude, I got my ass handed to me big time. I was like humbled.
So when you went home that night, what was the thought process? Was you like, I'm never doing this again? I'm never coming back, or I'm gonna get even? What was it?
You know, okay. In my head, I was like, I want to get even, right? And then I was like, I'm gonna come back and train harder. I'm not gonna spar. No, I'm just not gonna do that.
So you're gonna go back to the 4 month. You're gonna add back. I'm doing more cardio, more back work, and all of that. And then you're still watching the classes and stuff though?
No, I'm doing the classes, but I'm not sparring.
Yeah.
And then finally I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna spar again. And I did it better. I mean, I wasn't able to take the beating more because I was expecting it. I wasn't expecting it at the time, so I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you kind of went in kind of already.
Yeah. But
looking at this guy like, oh, he ain't gonna be no challenge.
Now I'm like
underestimated him a little bit.
And then I did pretty good. You know, I didn't whoop on him.
Right.
Either way, I would have lost. They were like, all right, well, shit, you be on the old man, you probably yourself.
Right, exactly.
And then vice versa, you get your ass whipped by an old man. Like, we're laughing about it right now.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But after that, I had my group. After that, I had my group of people. I had like three people that I always train with. You know, and then they will always ask me afterwards, like, "Hey, you want to do some extra rounds?" You know, and I was like, "No," but they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah, drag yourself
because you have to do it. You know what this sport taught me is you are gonna get hit. You can't. I don't like to get hit, but I accept it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just kind of like you're gonna get hit. You just gotta limit the amount of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Don't let it get hit. Don't let it hit you square on.
Right.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you know, one of my buddies and teammate. My old teammate, Fernando Gonzalez, said it best in one of his interviews. He says, swimmer gets wet, skiers get cold, fighter gets hit.
Yeah.
You can't get scared.
Makes sense.
You know?
That makes sense.
But yeah, it's you know, I started sparring more, you know, I was lately trying to like get the bitch out of me. Like so to speak, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, just get this shit out of there.
So you stop being like nervous going in and all that stuff. Which I'm pretty sure there's going to be a certain amount of that every time you enter the ring anyway. But just like the thought process of, do I even want to be here type thing is what you have to get over. I'm sure. Yeah.
It's more like, and then after a while, it took me a minute though, dude. You know, it took me like almost a year, maybe a little bit under that, maybe to just get used to it. You know.
Yeah.
To stay calm and learn how to see the punches coming and not to be like, you know, being over anxious and react to things every time, you know.
Right.
I also believe that in life. Like,
you know, and that's so crazy you said that, because that's a perfect parallel for.
I use everything I learned from that into I'm trying to put it out there, you know.
Everything you learn in the ring, you kind of try to apply to your life.
Just martial arts, period.
Okay.
Just, you know, all that. You know, it's like, don't jump the gun, stay calm. I mean, like, think before you do, you know. Don't be so like overzealous with things and shit and things like that, you know.
Acting with emotion, all of that.
Fighting has taught me a lot. Like, I can't say like other people say, oh, it saved my life.
Yeah.
But it made me a better person.
Yeah, that's a kind of a good quote though. Like what you just said though, he's like, I can't say like a lot of people fighting saved my life, but it made me a better person.
Yes.
Obviously, after months and months of just training, and then finally working up the courage to get in the ring and start sparring, and you start finally getting, finding your niche. You're finding your groove, right? And so, what's the next step? Like, because a lot of people go in the gym and it's like one of the coaches like, I see something in you, man, and I want you to get up there and compete and all that stuff. So, talk to me about that for you. Was that the next step? What did you want to do?
I feel I wanted to be that guy. I wanted that guy with this belt around my waist. I wanted to be the bad motherfucker. I wanted people to recognize me. It's like because when I started training even harder, people were like, oh shit, are you getting me for a fight? I was like, nah, it's just the way I train.
Yeah.
People was like, damn.
And I mean, you do train crazy, though. We were talking about that off camera. Like, you got that Russian. What's the Russian out Rocky?
Ivan Drago.
Yeah. Like this lumber wood. This dude's hitting tires with this guy's crazy.
I wanted to be that, And then life happened. I had to get. Well, at the time I was working and I was training, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I lost my job at the time, and I had money saved up, so I still training a little bit, and then my money was running out.
Mm-hmm.
So now I had to be more of a provider. I had to, make money, be an adult, and should be responsible.
Put some of the little passion to the side and kind of focus on the priorities.
I started. I still working at the tattoo shop.
Got it. Okay.
That's when
I always wonder how you start working there.
Because Ken and them used to come and train. So
okay.
One day they were like, "Hey, we need someone to fill in. Are you free today just to wash the front?" And I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
They take off from there, and then next I was a little bummed that I worked more because I was lucky. If I was getting 1 hour of training. I was so busy, I was used to training like 8 hours a day to like just maybe one.
You turned training almost into your job.
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then then I started I started running the tattoo shop and so on and so on.
Yeah, shout out to you for plugging me on a Friday the 13th.
Yes, sir. Slide through.
Straight VIP staff. Line be wrapped around the thing, man. They be like, come around the back, man. They be barbecuing back there. Slide me right in. Jumping there with my boy Minso one time. I got an arm full of $13 tattoos. That's crazy, man. It was like, to you, man.
It was like, oh man, I'm in the front.
Yeah. I go to the back just chilling.
But yeah, man, I worked there, and I was still trained, Yeah. But then, I started training, and then but what led me into becoming a coach was more of because I missed my time of me wanting to compete, or of me wanting to fight professionally,
So there was because there's a window. It's a window, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you basically said?
You turn 30. Mid-30s or 32, 33, you starting to get old in the game. That's what it is.
What do you think that is? Is that our bodies?
It's just our bodies, the wear and tear you put them through, and just you peak around 32, 33, and then next poof, he's coming back down a little bit,
Okay.
But that's what happens, man. And no one wants to look at an older dude to fight, or
Right,
but
you turned into that one. You turned into the dude that kicked your ass.
Yes,
when you first.
I mean,
and that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
But competing is a different thing.
You could fight locally, but I'm trying to be on that.
Your goal was to be like that guy. Yeah. I get it.
I had dreams and things happen. I learned it's not gonna happen. I was good with it. I mean, I was bummed. I was like, fuck.
Of course.
Because I was seeing all my other teammates getting fights, and I'm just like, fuck. They were advancing, but I was pushing 9 to 5 for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind because I love where I work too. It was awesome. I love the people there, and they were like my family too.
Right.
It was just more the minute I would watch people on the internet and just see my boys exhaling, collecting belts, and multiple of my teammates going on the Ultimate Fighter show and winning it, and just I'm like, I used to train with that guy. Oh, I trained with him, and they say like, let your biggest flex be like they knew you. Like things like that. But yeah, so I started doing that, and I would train, and then I remember one thing led to another. One of my teammates needed somebody to be to help him train for a fight, and that's when he kind of sparked a little bit. I was more like, okay, well, if I can fight, maybe I could help them get ready for a fight.
Yeah.
And that started being like a little part-time thing for me, for a little bit. And
so you're doing that, and you're working at the tattoo shop.
Yeah, it was a part-time thing.
Gotcha.
I had like maybe like a couple of fighters under me at the time. Training with me. I was helping them, and then I started working at Team Quest, doing in Hammett part-time.
Okay.
Helping the team there, coaching the guys and stuff like that. And then I was there at the tattoo shop, and then, when you're somewhere for a while, and you feel like you want more. It's like that's not for you. I can't. I love the tattoo shop. I loved being there, but I couldn't see myself.
It's not a long-term thing.
Yeah, being there, like being the front guy the whole time, like my whole career.
Yeah, that's how.
Fuck, and I was there for 10 years. For a minute, I have the tattoo on my wrist. I was there for 10 years. 10 years strong, baby. But my boy, my best friend Jason Duran, was like, hey man, if you need me, I could talk to Miguel, and I could get you a spot there, arrange a meeting with him and stuff. He's like, they don't have a ring, they don't have mats or whatever, but they do have a bag, and you could just,
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, I'll go check it out. What do I have to do?
Yeah.
I walked in, I talked to Miguel for a little bit, and I'm the kind of guy that could pretty much train anywhere, and I mean it worked.
Yeah.
And then next thing we moved to a bigger space. Now we have a ring, cage, anything I need to make you the next best thing.
Man, you know what? God is good though, man, because in reality, and I was just watching something, and the dude was basically talking about how when you are super passionate about something and you really want it to work, you'll do that with the least amount of resources possible.
Yes.
And when you can show that when you show God that you do that, then it's like, how could he not bless you with everything else? Because he knows, like, if you can do all of this with just this, imagine what you could do with that. So that's a dope, analogy for that, because at the time I'm like thinking, it's like, dang, okay, like there's no ring, there's no mats, we just got to punch. But you're like, in your mind, you're like, oh, I can still make that work.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's resourceful. And I think that goes back to, not always having everything handed to you, or not always having this perfect place where you have all these resources.
Yeah.
Not saying that you were down bad that, but just saying like, you didn't have the money to just say, oh, I want to get this, I want to do that, I want to grab this, I want to do that. Just going back to like even with the soccer for you, when you came here, it's more expensive, there's more requirements and stuff. Like, those are things that you had to sacrifice at that time. So I commend you for using what you had to get to this. So now you get in this gym, and you like, I can basically make anybody, because you know what you did, and you know what you wanted to do as well. So now you're pouring this into the next fighter, and I think that's a master of your craft right there, because you don't master things until you can actually teach it, and pass it on, right? That's right.
The way I became so passionate about it is also because when I was like training, no matter how good I was or how much effort I put in the room, in the training room, with the team and stuff, I felt like I was never good enough. I felt like I was overlooked, and that's just me being real. I don't. Whoever watches this, some of my old teammates, old coaches, you feel some type of way. It's just truth.
Yeah.
I
your truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just felt like.
And this is a space to speak.
Yeah, I just felt like I was like overlooked, And I decided when I started coaching to be the guy that I needed.
Yeah.
To be there for me.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, bro, like, let's do this shit. You know, we're gonna work, and then I'm gonna get you there. You know, like, not just look at the poster board. I don't hate nobody. I don't, you know, I'm not saying, you know, but it's a team. Remember that. You know, we're a team. It's not just like one guy.
It don't work without all of us.
Yes. I mean, I understand, like, if he has the fight coming up, yes. Okay. It's about him. Let's make him a monster before he steps in there. You know? But, you know, it's like all of us are in there are trying to eat. Not just one person, you know. I mean, like, yeah, you know, I don't take nothing away from, like, a lot of professional fighters that came through that are, like, world known, or, you know, because they put their effort, they put their time in. Yeah, I understand that, but we also trying to put our time in, and we trying to get our foot through the door, you know. And I know for a fact that if I did somehow fought, I would.
Basically, what French is trying to say politely is a lot of y'all got a lot of shine, and you know what I mean, you went to different heights and levels and all that stuff, but I'm just letting you know he can still whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want that fade. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah,
that's what it boils down to. No, what he's doing is training the next monster to do that as well, though. But I really think that's the dope part, like, because when you walk into a gym and you want to be that guy, and you know what it feels like, and you know what you need, and you can provide that, that's what makes you probably one of the best coaches you could ever go and get.
I tell him, you know, I was like, and, you know, I don't sugarcoat shit. If you come up to me and be like, hey, French, I want to train under you, and I want to fight professionally. This is what I want to do. I will tell him dead in the eye. This shit is a fucking hard life.
Right.
And I tell them, there's no if, is when you need to make sacrifices, they have to be made.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I've been around the sport for so long that I know how it is, man. Fucking takes, you take family and life away a bit from it, you know? You have to be in there grinding. You have to be with someone that can see the bigger picture.
And that's the thing, because I feel like if you look at any great talent, like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, the list goes on. But all those people have the proper support system.
Yes.
In order to do that, because it takes a certain level of isolation to become great at anything.
Bro, watch fucking.
That doesn't equate like in every household.
Yeah.
Not every woman's willing to be like, oh yeah, that's fine. I know I'm only gonna see him 20% out of the 100% of the time I could, because he's training, or he's competing, or he's whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. And so I do want to commend the women that are able to take that role on, because they see the bigger picture. They, you know, but then at the same time, like, it's hard for other women to do that, because they want to be that star.
But you know, I understand where you're coming from too, though. You know,
right,
it's like
right.
You're always gone, and professional.
You're focused.
Yeah.
You know, even when you are here, you're not really here.
At the beginning, professional level, you don't make shit. You don't. And you know, most professional fighters have a full-time job while they're still trying to get. Because, you know, fighting is a fucking.
So that makes sense, man. You're spending all this time on training just to get these fights that's not really paying you much. So, yeah, it doesn't, like, because that's the thing. On the other end, LeBron and Kobe, they got millions and billions of dollars. So at least they got that to kind of say, oh, okay, I get why I'm sacrificing this lack of time or this lack of effort from my partner right now.
Watch the notorious Conor McGregor's thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch that. His woman is a real one.
Yeah.
Bro, like, she was there from day one.
Right.
You watch her, you'll see.
Yeah. Like, that's what you need to succeed there, huh?
Yeah. You need, like, a hard support system. And I'm talking about, like, beyond even that.
Yeah.
Because this shit ain't for the weak, man. It's hard. I mean, I guess now it's a bit easier, but when I was coming up at the time, it was hard, man. Like, I watched this shit break somebody's home apart. Like, like,
Yeah.
because it was just tough.
I'm pretty sure it's broke a lot of homes apart.
Yeah.
And just like anything else, like, men, we're very passionate about, what it is that we're going to make our career. And whatever we do, we want to be the best at it. I'm not going to say all men, but that's, the men that the men that I surround myself with, that's our goal.
Yeah.
We don't want to just be this. We want to be the best at it or reach a certain height or success. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's understandable, man. If you don't have someone that understands that, it just makes the dynamic very difficult. And then that's just not just for fighters. That's for anybody trying to be great.
It is. Yeah.
Another thing you can take from the ring and apply to your life right there. You know what I mean? It's perfect. So you start becoming this coach that you always needed and wanted. So how does that start to work out for you?
It's doing good, man. Like I said, like when I hop on, I was like, fuck. I was a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. And people start flocking to me, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then next time I have a wait list now. To get on in my schedule or whatever, and it's a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like when you said, God rewards you when you work your ass off or whatever,
Use the resources that you have.
You know what's crazy? It's like, I don't want to say I didn't work that hard at it. I did. It's just that I love what I do so much that it was that easy for me to do.
The passion, yeah. Because look, when you go back to saying, oh yeah, I was training for like 8 hours a day, that let me know like that's pure passion. Nobody's telling you have to go in there and train for 8 hours a day.
No.
You don't have no fight coming up. You just stand. This is what you love to do. So whether you got a fight coming up or not, you want to be in there working your hardest. You just like that environment. Everything about it was for you.
Yeah,
that's why it makes sense that it's so fitting that you would become, a personal trainer,
8 hours a day,
coach.
I am not bullshitting. You guys could even look up my old footage or ask my old teammates. 8 hours a day.
Yeah. I don't doubt it. It's like, just like Cat Williams can run a 4 flat.
Oh shit.
If Prince work out for 8 hours a day, it's nothing. No, I'm just playing with you. No, I believe that because you can spend some time in there, man, and get it done. So, that brings me to this, man. Shout out to you, man, because you helped the Underdog brand become one of the first. We got to sponsor a fighter at Bellator.
Yes, sir.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to that, man. That was really cool. Shout out to what's his name?
Chris Reyes.
Okay, shout out to Chris Reyes, man.
And my goddaughter, his daughter.
Yeah,
my goddaughter.
Yeah, that's what's up. Man. So no, that was dope. So first he plugged me. He's like, "Yo, man, I can get you could be a sponsor. He'll walk out with your Underdog stuff on, man. We'll all be wearing it." So that was super dope. I even got to go to the event. I dropped the ball a little bit though, because I drove all the way up to LA. I'm all amped up, man. I'm driving up there, and I get 15 minutes from the venue, and I'm like, I don't got tickets, and I'm like, oh man, this dude plugged me with tickets, and I didn't bring them. What am I gonna do? And you plugged me with more tickets, ringside, dog. And gave me the most ultimate experience at Bellator I could have ever had, man. So I want to thank you for that.
I got you, man.
And the trainer, what was the big dude?
Shirley. He was salty.
He was salty. When I came upstairs, he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and I was like, why you keep on looking at me like that? And then I was like, oh, those was his tickets. So I greatly appreciate that experience, man.
Yeah.
That's super dope, man.
For sure.
So let's talk about some of the other people you've been able to train, or how that process start to roll for you, man. You picking up clientele. You got a waiting list now.
You know what's crazy though? In my head, I'm like, shit. How am I gonna? I mean, I was getting clients, but it was more like, how am I gonna make myself, into the fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
I had fighters, but I needed more fighters. Not more fighters, not more. More like my goal was to get people that was outside of my circle. You know,
Gotcha.
Not the ones I already know, and and it just happened, bro. I started like self-made, helped me with a lot of stuff. Or like had to be more active on social media and posting. They'd be posting me, and I started pretty much like little by little professional fighters coming to me, well-known influencers coming to me. Like the first guy I ever trained, I was like, I didn't even know who he was at first,
Mm-hmm.
And then Miguel, who's the owner of Self-Made, was like, hey, yo, man, I got this dude that's like in town, and he's filming like a little segment for his film, whatever. And then like,
What's his name? Rashid or
yeah,
something?
Mike
Yeah.
Rashid.
Yeah, Mark Rashid. Yeah.
I was in his videos like Kingmaker, like little 30 minutes movie, and then I was in his Anatomy of a Fighter. I was in that one too.
Okay.
It's on YouTube if you look it up. But yeah, he was the first one. We plugged in, and me and him been in touch since then, man. Like, he always check on me. I always hit him up. While we talk, I haven't talked to him in a minute. But he's a real. You know what? A lot of people that you meet that are like up there, you think the worst of them. Not worse, but like,
Yeah, you kind of put them in the box about how they're gonna be.
Yeah. Not the guy I thought he was gonna be. Humbled. When we talked in between like breaks and stuff, he wasn't even talking about fighting. He was talking about life. He was talking about like other shit. And he's a deep dude, man. Like he's a good dude, man.
That's dope.
And I've trained professional fighters and to Bellator, Keith Berry being one of them. Being in the spotlight. I just being on my own. It was probably like the best decision I ever made.
Starting out on your own like that.
Yeah, like I come from Team Quest, Dan Henderson's gym.
Right.
Things didn't really work out, and I decided to kind of do my own thing, and it was probably like the best thing I ever did, and it's scary to stand on your own 2 feet.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't scare you, then
it's not. The goal's not big enough.
Yeah.
Man, that's relatable for me because, I come from Rico's barbershop. Where I work there, and a lot of times when you go as a barber, you feel like the people, they come to you because they go to Rico's. And then you do build your clientele, but you feel like if I leave, they're not going to come to me still.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like going out on your own too. And I was forced into that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I understand that scary feeling, and it's kind of relatable to what you do. Everything I've done and everything I learned right here with Team Quest. Now I'm pushing into a different aspect of my life, and hey, I gotta leave them and start building my own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that is a scary thing, but I commend you for doing it because I felt that same way doing what I did building the Hotseat, man, and it still ain't where I want it to be, but it's definitely not where it used to be, and I can appreciate that, you know what I mean? So that's dope. Yeah, so man, when I'm preparing for these episodes or for the podcast, even especially with strangers, but even with people that I consider friends, I'm on their Instagram. I'm doing my research. I'm looking at stuff like this, just digging through, just seeing what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was crazy because, man, one night I was just on Instagram, bro, and I was scrolling. And I was like, oh, snap, the Black Tarzan is in there training, like, and then I looked and it was you in the ring with him, and I was like, wait, I thought for sure, I was like, I might have had too many space left, too many doobies that night or something. So I was tripping like, nah, French wasn't in there training the Black Tarzan. I went back to sleep, and the next day I couldn't find it for whatever reason. So I'm like, yeah, I was tripping or whatever. But no, man, how did that happen? Like, you're training the Black Tarzan.
Yeah.
Like that dude right there, first of all, is a monster.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, he doing something that I probably would never do. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
And he looked like he in tip top shape as well. So how does something like that happen for you?
Well, he was like, we have this membership. It's like a VIP membership. You pay like a monthly fee, and then you get the key to the gym. You know.
Okay.
And he's just moving to town. He's been to town for a year, I guess, or whatever. You know, doing his thing. And then Julie, well, she's like Miguel's number 2, right? She texts me. She was like, "Hey, you know, we have a VIP member, and he's interested in boxing, or you know, in martial arts." And I said, "Okay, show me his number, so I could talk to him." So she introduced us, like in a group text, or whatever. And I'm also the type of guy too, where like with every new clients I get, you know, they tell me their name, so I look them up because I want to know what they're about,
background,
and if they're gonna be able to keep up with what I make them do, and kind of know how athletic they are, and just know things like that.
Does that help you set the tone for like what kind of workout you're gonna get now, or what expectations or goals you think,
or where we could start?
Okay,
you know, because from learning how to fight and stuff like that.
Right.
But anyway, and then I see his name. It says Mike Holston. I said, all right. So I type it into my IG, and he comes up like Tarzan. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I was just watching this dude the other day. You know? And then we linked up, man. I hit him up. We talked for a little bit. You know, good dude, like super good dude. I'm like as humble as they come.
Wow.
You know, like live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Those are like people like I want to surround myself with.
Yeah.
You know, me and him chop it up about like just like hustling, things we could work on in the future, you know, and things like that. I see him, it's all love. He sees me, it's all love. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Good people, man.
He seems like that type of dude too, man. I mean, I've been following him for a long time. Like I remember when. Like I've seen pictures of him with dreads. Like I know his story about like because he was like I guess he had this teacher that used to have like let him have these pets in the class, and that's where it kind of grew his love. He was homeless for a minute and all that. So I know his story, and I've been following him for a long time. I just always see him doing the wildest stuff, man. I think he's a dope person. It definitely makes sense that you two hit it off though, because I kind of got that vibe from you. Like you're a monster, dog. Like there's certain dudes that you just like, yo, man. How does this dude train that hard? How does this guy do the things he does? Like, why does he even do it? How does he do it? You know what I mean? So I get that vibe from him. I get that vibe from you. So I'm glad you guys connected. So. Like, how was that first session though? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, you know, when I first met him, I was like, oh shit, I'm training Tarzan, you know.
Yeah, was you a little fan out a little bit?
Yes and no.
Okay.
You know, it was more like, how hard is it gonna hit me? Like, I'm like, fuck. Is my shoulder gonna come off my socket? It's like,
because you got the pad.
Yeah. I was like, fuck. But dude, you know, he ended up being a real good dude. You know, like when you click and you have that chemistry, it's just. It's easy from there, you know. And,
organic.
And I'm the type of dude that I'm pretty easy to get along with.
Yeah.
You know, I pick up on vibes. I'm very observing. When you first meet me, you think I'm like mean or whatever because I'm just quiet. You know, I don't really open up or be like, yo, what up, baby? You know, like
no. Yeah, of course.
Like, you know, but
you're more reserved, and you know, I think that's what builds an organic. I don't like the people that's all quick. What up, baby? Like, we don't know each other that good yet. Let's kind of like fill each other out a little bit. It's kind of like that's how animals are, you know?
Yeah,
if you think about it. And that's probably another thing about him. Like he, without even speaking, has to pay attention to how an animal reacts, different signs and different things like that, which is something that I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah.
And it's like you apply that to your life with people. Like you said, training, you can't go into every training session with a certain aggression or whatever with every person. You know that person that needs that, and then you also know that person that comes in already ready, and you just got to basically just give them, you know, whatever, the structure.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, that's dope, man. So So you out there, you training him, man. Business is obviously doing well. You know, I'm definitely trying. You know, you definitely got to plug him so he can come on the podcast, man. I need the Black Tarzan podcast episode,
Mike,
man.
we are coming on the podcast, bruh.
No, Mike, you're coming on the podcast, bruh. And you know what I'm saying? I ain't no animal person like that. No, I love animals, but I'm a little scary about certain stuff.
I told him this. I said, yo, I go to your ranch, but I ain't fucking with the snakes.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I was there last week, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I show up. What up, Mike? What up, French? Blah blah blah. You know.
Yeah.
He goes and pick up with his buddy.
Yeah.
He had a bucket and shit, and they pull up in the golf cart. He's like, "Hey, coach, I got a gift for you." And I look, and I can see the dude sitting in the back, and I see a big bucket, and I'm like, "Hell no!"
Yeah, I can imagine they play some sick games with people on that.
No, but he told me he was like, I would never force a snake on you.
Yeah.
If you're scared of it, I'm not gonna do that to you.
Yeah, that phobia.
And he was all like, and besides, you probably whoop my ass and all the mat afterwards.
Yeah, that next training session is gonna be hell, huh? Yeah, man. So I'm ready to announce it, dog. They need to stay tuned, man. We got some fight shorts. Me and French been talking about collabing on these fight shorts for a long time, right? So, I obviously got a huge passion for fashion. You know
Yes, you do, sir.
I like to create cool pieces, and I don't fight, but I always like to fight shorts. I think it would be dope for us to do a collab, man. So I want y'all to stay tuned for this, man, because now I'm putting it out there to the world. So
The
now
pressure is on.
the pressure is on. We ain't got no excuses, man. So let's we said we're gonna sit down next week, have some lunch.
Yeah.
Figure that out. And we could probably figure out when we're gonna get the Black Tarzan on the Hotseat podcast as well. You know what I'm saying? So what's next for you, French, man? What do you see next for you? What's the goal?
Well, ahead of me this year, I'm gonna compete in jiu-jitsu at the black belt level.
Okay.
I'm finally decided, this is it. This is time now.
Yeah.
One last run, and and besides that, eventually, in the future, I wanna own my own spot, my own academy.
Yeah.
I just haven't figured out where yet.
Yeah.
But that's the end goal. Like I say, I do this because I want to give back and want to be the guy that wasn't there for me when I needed that person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my mentality when I train people. Everybody that you will talk to that I train will tell you how passionate I am.
Yeah.
Whether I'm being mean to you or I'm being stern because I'm trying to drill something into you, it's because I care.
Yeah.
And I tell them, this shit right here is the reason why I'm stern sometimes, or I guess you could say I get irritated or whatever. It's because I don't want you to make those mistakes.
Mm.
Because
those mistakes in the ring, yeah.
Let alone in real life. I mean, God forbid they have to use it in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Mistakes can be made because the moment you make that mistake, because I know that if someone make that mistake in front of me, I will finish it.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just like in life.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, shit's gonna bite you in the ass, but
you learn from the mistake. You don't keep making it.
Exactly.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah.
See.
Right.
And one thing I always tell my students and the athlete, I'm like, bro, when I'm in here coaching, I feel like fucking Einstein. Out in the real world, I'm more like, huh?
He said, I come out of that ring and I'm dumb and dumber.
I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
But, it's like, I knew that this was for me.
Yeah.
When, the only thing I would do is just watch shit. When I was in the gym, I wasn't on the mat, I wasn't in the ring, I wasn't kicking, hitting shit, rolling around, submitting people. I was like watching it. When I was working and I had that 9 to 5, that's the only thing I'd be doing. On the computer, just watching shit, Always thinking about it. And prior to me training and getting involved in martial arts, I was always watching football, basketball, baseball. You know, ever since I started training, the only thing I watch boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu.
You literally eat, sleep, and
MMA.
breathe.
Yeah. Now I can't even tell you who's who in basketball now, or like
Right.
or like football. You know, but before I knew everything. I'm from like that Barry Sanders era, like Emmitt Smith, like Terrell Davis, you know, like those guys, you know, and then shit happened.
You're like, I don't know.
You know,
Is that Anthony Edwards? I don't know who that is.
I was like, oh yeah.
Minnesota? Oh yeah. I remember when they had KG.
Yes. Fuck.
Yeah,
like,
I get it, bro.
It's you know, it's part of me now. You know, it's like I fucking breathe this shit.
Yeah.
I could just sit there and just watch it for like the whole day.
Yeah.
No, I used to like, I used to date somebody, you know, and then like I would watch fights the whole entire time. She'll come home and she'll be like, "What are you doing? Watching fights?" And she'll be like, again?" Fucking Jolie.
Yeah.
And I said, "This is what I do."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that part right there where it goes back to, you know, that you gotta have somebody that understands. It's like, you know, I'm putting in these hours and eventually this stuff pays off. And even now, you know, those are different techniques and different things you're learning that you can pass on to, you know, the people that you're training. So, when are you competing? When is the competition?
So I'm planning on doing June 22nd in Norwalk, which is like LA County / kind of like on the border almost to Orange County.
Yeah.
Just to get my feet wet with that one, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm planning to do a big one in August in Vegas. That one's gonna be a World Masters. I think I believe it's like August 29th.
Okay. Okay, so French is about to, that's exciting, man. That's super dope.
Yeah.
And then for no, we need your ads though, bro. You gotta give them your ads and let them know, like, if anybody's looking for somebody to be trained, how does that process work? How do they contact you?
We just get in touch, you know. We talk for a little bit, or you could meet me at Self-Made Training Facility HQ in Temecula. I'll give you a walkthrough and whatever questions you have, I'll have the answer for it, or I'll try to have the answer for it as best as I can.
Yeah.
And we can set something up from there. If not,
and you training people as young as, because I see kids in there.
Yeah.
So what's the youngest you train?
Fun fact. When I first started coaching, that's what I started coaching. Kids.
Okay.
And it's just, you know.
That helps you boost that confidence too, huh? You're like, Let's start with
patience.
And patience. You ain't lying.
Bro.
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
It's very rare, but a good age is 6 years old.
Okay.
You know, I've seen 4, you know, I've seen 5, but those are more like, it's either they already have it and they're gonna be something special, or they're just 4-year-olds, and you just want to make them comfortable, punching stuff and hitting stuff.
Right.
But there's no such thing like he can't do it.
Right.
Everybody could do it. We born ready to fight.
We
born like this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we are.
So,
that's wild.
Basically, youngest I ever trained is 4. You can start at 4, but it's very rare to find one that will pick everything up at 4. You know, 6 is pretty good.
Yeah.
6 years old is pretty good.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. 6 all the way up to however old as you want, huh?
Yeah, I train from 6 to like however old you want.
So just tap in Self-Made Training Facility right here in Temecula.
HQ
or
look me up on my Instagram is F4 Mr. French.
Don't worry about this though. We're gonna have this. We're gonna provide the links for show.
Yes, on my Strike First one. Yeah.
Oh, and y'all stay tuned, man, because your boy is going to Self-Made, and I'm about to get the official Strike First training. The what they say, the C8 combat. Combat athletics. So your boy's gonna go in there, man. I'm gonna get my train on. I'm gonna hit some bags. We're gonna see what it's looking like, man. So stay tuned for that episode as well, man. Again, this is the Hotseat podcast where we're always talking to hot guests. We talk about hot topics, so we at the hottest spots, man. Today I'm with my man, Mr. French, man, the the monster himself, man. The strike coach, the professor, the kick your ass technician. You know what I'm
I like that.
We go, hey, man. We always do a quote of the day, man. So I think the quote of the day is, what Mike Tyson say? He said, everybody's got a plan until he punches in the face. Yeah, we're going to go with that one, man. Shout out Mike Tyson, man. Big salute to him, man. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and comment. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Again, I'm with Mr. French. Make sure y'all go follow him. If you're interested in training, you don't have to compete if you're just interested in training. Come in if you want to get your kids in there. Get your kids in there. If your wife or you want to come in and just train and make sure you can protect yourself, tap in with my boy. I'm going to go in as a sacrificial lamb to show y'all. It's totally doable. He's going to tailor make a workout just for me, man. I'm going to do about 10 push-ups. I'm going to hit the bag for about 10 seconds. No, I'm just joking. I'm going to get to work, man. Y'all come check it out and stay tuned for the collab on the shorts.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. We got to hold ourselves accountable. We've been talking about this for years.
Yeah,
so the shorts is coming now. And the real Tarzan, man. The Black Tarzan. We gotta get him on here, man.
Yeah,
I always call him the real Tarzan because I feel like the real Tarzan should be black, and he really is, he's the real one. So, yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Self Made. Shout out to Strike First. Shout out to Heritage Tattoo.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to my boy. Oh, give me one Minso story that you got. Give me one wild Minso story before we leave, man. We're gonna end this off.
I don't think they'll allow him.
No, we can't allow it. Hey, R.I.P. to our boy Trip.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We want to make sure we throw that out there as well. Y'all stay tuned because I'm gonna do an open panel with my man French, Minso, a couple other people, Minso, and a couple other people. And we're gonna go down memory lane, talk about a couple different topics, maybe strategize on some things that we want to make happen in the future. Because the big dogs, we don't talk about people. We talk about ideals.
Yes, sir.
Let's build. Hey, until next time, man, love, peace, and happiness. It's your boy Trees Trims at the Hotseat Podcast. Again, like, share, and comment. And most of all, subscribe. Till next time. Yee! Hell yeah! That was what an episode, dog. That was killer.
Yes, sir.
That was
Yes, sir.
so dope, man. Yeah, that flowed good.